There are times that you need to make a change to payroll information for a single employee. And in that case, it is easy to just go ahead and edit the employee and make the change. But sometimes you have a payroll change that affects more than one employee, and it becomes inefficient to go in and edit multiple employees to make the same change. So we've added a tool to CenterPoint called the Employee Mass Update that will allow you to go ahead and make a change that affects more than one employee. That can be done underneath Setup and Employees, and on the Employee Setup screen at the bottom, there is a button that says Mass Update. When I click on the Mass Update button, it launches a Mass Update wizard. I'm going to click Next on the wizard. First, it's going to ask us what we want to update. And so we can update the general information on an employee, the pay information on employees, reporting information, earnings, deductions, benefits, taxes, and leave. So you can choose any one of those. I'm going to choose deductions, but the changes I make here are going to be very similar on all of the other items. So I'm going to click deductions and click next, and then it's going to ask us which deduction we're going to change. I'm going to change this one called dental insurance pre-tax. Now we've had a rate change, and every time we make a rate change here in the wizard, it is updating it using the most current effective date. So we keep track of rate changes by the effective date of it. It allows you to make a change here in the system prior to the rate actually even being effective. So the best way to go ahead and make a rate change would be to add a new effective date. Otherwise, if I don't add a new effective date, what I would be changing is the current rate on the most recent effective date. So that's what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add an effective date. So I'm going to click next there, and we're going to add the effective date of 1/1 of 24. You see in the effective date column here that the last change was on 1/1 of 2006. So this is going to add a new effective date of 1/1 of 2004. So you see here's the old effective date, there's the new effective date. And now when I click next, it's going to give me the opportunity to decide that maybe I didn't want that change. So if I didn't want that change, I can still say no. But if I do want that change in the database, I can say yes. So what it did is it added a new effective date, and it copied over any rates that were in the old effective date. Now I'm ready to update the actual rate. So I'm going to click New to make another change. So anytime you want to make an additional change after you've already made one change, you could click New. And I'm going to go back to deductions. I'm going to go back to the dental insurance pre-tax, and now I'm going to update the rate. So I'm going to click Next. Now, you'd see here that I had a 0 rate in a couple of the employees, and this one here actually had a rate in it. So if I didn't want to update all of the employees, I could just highlight Stacy Cedar here and make the change to her. But I did want to update all of the employees, so I'm going to highlight all 3 of them, and I'm going to change this rate to 0.40. Okay, the current rate is 0.30. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it for 8.40. The current rate is 8.31. So I'm going to click Next. You'll see that it's going to show me this is what the old rate is. This is what the new rate is. And I'm going to click Next again, and it makes that change for the newest effective date. So it only made that change for the 1/1/24 effective date. So now if I wanted to make an additional update, I could click New and go through that process again. If I'm done with all of the updates I need to make, I could go ahead and click Finish.